Hi everyone, I'm gonna set you guys down and kind of have a little bit of a chat. My tripod is broken, so I can't put it up right. Okay, that is definitely so much better. My camera's a little bit wobbly, but it doesn't fit on this tripod. Anyway, guys, hi, welcome back to our channel. If you don't know me, I am Bailey and my husband is Griff. And I've just come to terms with the fact that he is very camera shy and does not like the camera like I do. So, typically it's just me and you guys. I usually make kind of more like vlogs and stuff like that. But sometimes I like these sit down videos. Wow, it's really hot. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to have a sit down chat with y'all while I eat my smoothie or drink it, whatever. Just to kind of talk about, you know, kind of like where we're at in the process of like living in an RV and kind of what our goals are for the next, I guess, year or even 6 months. And just kind of where like our mental health is at and all of that stuff. So yeah, let's just get into it. First and foremost, we moved up to Montana from Austin, Texas. Well, more like the New Braunfels area. We moved up here in May and it was kind of a hard adjustment. If you guys have been following some of my videos, you would know that it was a little bit harder of an adjustment, I think, for me than it was for Griff, just because he's a fly fishing guide, so he kind of gets a lot more social interaction than I do, and a lot of the guides are like around our age, so I think it was a little bit easier for him. And I think I'm a little bit more introverted than he is, which is funny because he's like camera shy and I'm not. I think it's a lot easier to talk to a camera than it is to talk to groups of people, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so we came up here and are doing our seasonal job until mid-October. And to be honest, like, the summer has been great. I think we have been working a little too much for our comfort. We love to be at home and like love to spend time together and have more like quality time. You know, it's really easy, especially when you're married, and especially like newly married. We've only been married almost 2 years now, and it's still an adjustment trying to learn how to navigate like scheduling and quality time versus just like getting in such a schedule that you're just like waking up, going to work, and then coming home, going to bed. So that has been more of an adjustment. Just because we have been working a ton, and when I mean a ton, it's like a lot. Like the past 2 weeks I've worked almost 90 hours, and he probably works, I don't know, I would say 60 hours a week. So he's also working a ton, rarely gets a day off. So that has been a little bit of a struggle, but the nice part about that is we've never been this financially comfortable, and so it has been kind of a relief to be able to save money while living in a camper and not paying rent like we did in Austin. And then you know, just kind of like being able to save money and not live paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, that's one thing that has been really beneficial for us, and I think that's pretty much it for the first part. And I guess the next thing would be that I wanted to kind of chat about is, you know, along with all of those changes and stuff, I think living in the camper has helped our mental health significantly. I go to therapy weekly online. I do teletherapy, and that has been really good, but it has also been a struggle too, because navigating you know, your entire life and feeling all of these feelings that you've never felt before, and then having to talk about them weekly is a huge struggle. But I will say that it has helped a lot, and then I'm gonna continue to go and I think it's really beneficial. So if anyone wants to go to therapy, I really recommend going. It's really hard the first like 6-8 months, and I'm on that like 6 to 8 month mark, but it is like really hard in the beginning just because you're trying to navigate all of this stuff that has happened throughout your life. And so it's just, yeah, it's just kind of a struggle, to be honest. But I think it is totally worth it. And I think if anyone else is, you know, wanting to go to therapy or thinking about it, I definitely would recommend going. Okay, so kind of the next thing I wanted to talk about was kind of what our next 6 months, maybe even to a year, would look like. So we get back to Texas in October, and I am really excited to get home. I have a new niece that I'm really excited to meet. She was just born last week, actually, so I'm very excited to meet her, and we're just kind of excited to be around family and friends and stuff back in Texas. And that's also one thing that has been really beneficial to us. We're very fortunate being able to come up here and finally get some financial stability and everything. And that means the more money we make up here, the less we have to work down in Texas. So we get a lot more time off, especially around the holidays and things like that. So I am really excited to just kind of spend some time with family and friends, just because, you know, usually that is our busiest time of year, is like December through April, but now it's kind of flip-flopped. So when we do get back to Texas, we're hoping to get a new RV, and that is something we've both been wanting, I think, for the past couple of months. We really thought we could kind of stick it out in here, and just with our jobs, especially Griff's, he has a lot of gear. He has a bow, and we might have to get another bow, and it's just a lot of gear all the time, like fly rods and fly tying material and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just, our RV is a little too small. We wish we had just like a tiny bit more room. So we're hoping to get a new RV this winter. And it's kind of funny because people are like, why don't you just like move back into a house? But actually that kind of ties into our, you know, next year we want to come back up here to Montana for our next season. So we just feel like it makes the most sense just to keep living in an RV for right now, because why would we pay rent in a state that we're not living in 6 months out of the year? So it just kind of makes sense, and we just like love being able to travel and take all of our stuff with us wherever we go. So that is something really exciting that I'm looking forward to hopefully getting this year, if not like before we come back next April or May. So that's kind of our goal for the next, I guess, 6 months to a year. We really love it up here, but we also really miss our friends and family down there. And we've made some friends up here, which is really cool, because I was really worried about that in the beginning. It's just like, how am I gonna make friends when I'm working so much and all this stuff? But I have made some friends at work, and so is Griff, and I feel like we will just kind of do the back and forth thing for a while, honestly. It has just been amazing being able to travel literally across the country, and then you know, also getting, kind of killing two birds with one stone. We get to like, you know, have the time to like travel and do all of that, while also in the winter we get to go home and see our friends and family. So it is just yeah, it's a really cool experience, honestly. And another thing too, if like any of you guys are looking to kind of get into this lifestyle, I actually made a TikTok about it today, but it's really not as difficult as you would think it is. A lot of people think it's way too expensive, or there's no way that they could do it. But one thing I want to reiterate is, like, we bought this camper, we, you know, financed it through a dealership, And the payments on this is half of what we pay for our cars. It is not as expensive as you would think it is, and you end up saving a lot more money than you would just on like rent and utilities every month. Most stuff is included, like at RV parks. And if you really want to save money, you can also like live in national forests, you know, for a month or two. Like you can boondock, as they would call it. I know a lot of RVers and stuff like that on Instagram do that. And then obviously people in a van, you know, can literally park anywhere. It's a little bit easier for people who live in a van, I feel like, to move around, but it is definitely also pretty easy to move around too. So that's kind of all I really wanted to talk about today. Is kind of a random sit down video. I just kind of wanted to chat with y'all and let y'all know kind of what our plans are for the next year, and just about like our mental health and stuff like that. I really like talking about mental health. I feel like it's kind of an outlet for me whenever I'm really stressed out and stuff, to like be able to talk about it with other people. So if anyone else is struggling or anything like that, I totally get it. I'm there too. So it's just kind of a thing that you know, have to try to get through. But as long as you have a support system and stuff like that, I feel like there are ways to get through it, and therapy is not always crazy expensive. I was really hesitant to get into therapy before I did, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford it. And it's actually a lot more affordable than I thought that it would be. So if y'all have any questions on that or anything else, yeah, please let me know. But I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.